In times like this, literature, especially the Bible, doesn't try to replace reality, but it instead offers something steady to hold on to. Scripture was kept alive for moments like this. So when their world is turned upside down, people can go back to these core truths that don't change. If you look at the Bible, Ecclesiastes, for example, shows us how the seasons come and go, and it reminds us that our understanding has limits. Proverbs shows us to stick with wisdom, humility, and respect for God. And then we have Jesus and his teachings, and it goes right to the basics. And it shows us love for God, love your neighbor, and show mercy and stay faithful. Even when society shifts, old routines disappear, these foundations will not budge. Literature doesn't just hand out rules, but it gives us patterns to live by. And you see it in stories about loyalty and warnings against pride and injustice. And those little nudges that show us compassion and to stick it out when things get tough. The lives of prophets and kings and disciples and everyday people turn into a map, which paths lead to real life and which ones don't. So Paul says in Romans 12:2, don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So what he's saying here is you live in an always shifting world, and you don't have to let every single trend shape you, but instead let your mind and your heart change you for the better through truth and clear thinking and your commitment to God. Hard times aren't anything new. In 2 Timothy, Paul says there will be days when people will chase after their own interests and get caught up with pride and reach for pleasure instead of what's right. But the answer isn't to panic or hide. Paul tells Timothy to stick with what he's learned and to keep going after wisdom and salvation through Jesus. Matthew 24:13 says, the one who endures to the end will be saved. That's not just a call to sit back and watch the world change, but it's a call to hold on to your faith. It's a call to love others. It's a call to stand up for what's true, even when everyone else seems to be going the other direction. Stay humble and keep your faith anchored in what's true.